almost done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel good. Could you get me a bagel?
Yeah, just give me a minute.
Thanks.
Here's your bagel.
Oh.
No?
No. How about a muffin?
Okay. I'll go see if we have muffins. I might have to go to the store, but I'll go see. I just got back from Costco.
I can't. No.
Okay.
Toast.
Oh, toast. Okay, yeah. I'll get you some toast. Here, hold this. Cheers. Toast.
We're at that point where she's like almost between the 2 and 3 months and stuff, and so getting her on a really good schedule, putting her down like at the same time every day is really important, because once we put her down for the night, then we get to spend time together and talk about, you know, like our days and like things that are important to us, and like do things together.
Is you have that initial euphoria where there's the novelty associated with the birth, and then it wears off and it becomes more of a grind.
And babies take up so much effort that it's really easy to ignore a spouse because you just don't have the energy or the time.
Right after you have a kid, there comes this whole new realm of responsibility. You've got bottles and diapers and extra laundry to do and toys that you're tripping over. And so there's all this stuff that's coming at you that you didn't have to deal with before. And I think one of the best things David did is he was willing to help out. If there was a stinky diaper, he changed it.
I think it has a lot to do with helping each other and working together as a team.
Like take care of your own personal needs, and then also be sensitive to what your spouse needs if they want to talk or just spend time, or just, you know, it is okay to get a babysitter and go and like take a break.
We didn't really have a lot of money to hire babysitters and things like that. If we wanted to spend time together, we just go do what we wanted to do and bring the baby with us. You know, so we just try to make time for each other that way.
It's usually a time where you're moving a lot, your finances are not real secure, your future is kind of uncharted.
And we had a colicky baby that would scream, and we had to figure out how to be okay with ourselves and our baby and each other. It was tricky.
So I don't have an answer other than it's really one day at a time. You can kind of get through the next few hours, the next few days.
You learn a lot more about each other once you have children, because when you were both growing up, you both had different styles of parenting that you don't even realize contradict each other even though you get along great by yourselves. Once you become parents, a lot of different questions and methods come into play where you might not have realized that you needed to talk about yet. And I think a lot of miscommunication and assumptions can cause problems because you just didn't know that it was something that you needed to talk about.
So I had one of my friends tell me, he's like, I never had an argument with my wife until we had children.
Now that you have had multiple kids, how do you keep your marriage a priority?
First of all, we pay our tithing. Second of all, we date once a week. Third, we get to the temple regularly. Fourth, we say, I love you every single day. And fifth, when we have a disagreement, we try to resolve it as quickly as possible.
I think one thing too, when we were dating, his big thing was, as long as I can hold your hand, you know, everything's okay. We're still holding hands. So yeah. I think that's a good sign.
Yeah, I've learned that if I can hold her hand, then that's a signal that whatever it is we're going through, we're still going to be okay.
Basically, it came down to, what do I really want more? What do I want more of? Do I want more time on the computer? Do I want more time for my hobbies and things? Or do I actually want more time with my spouse? And when it came down to what I actually wanted, which is to put my spouse first, that I actually wanted more time with her, I came to realize that the other things that I wanted to do kind of fell out of my life to make room and make time for my spouse. So I used to play a lot of video games when I was younger, when we were first married, but now that we have kids, we need to take that time, and that kind of fell by the wayside so that I could spend more time with Annalise.
There was a time when we had little kids at home, and I remember on my schedule, it said like 7 to 8 mommy and daddy time. And that just meant like the kids were doing something else and we had time to actually just talk to each other, because you really don't have a lot of time to talk to each other.
We have learned that we absolutely have to schedule our time together.
Yeah, so we do Saturday night, date night, and our kids know kids' night can be their Friday night, and we can invite all their friends over to our house and we can buy pizza for the world. But Saturday night is our night, and they're going to have to babysit each other or just be happy with whatever.
Some of the mundane things, we try and go and do them together. What do?
We clean together, we do dishes together, we cook together.
And we go on walks together, and sometimes we will let the kids walk around us. And we try to make it so it's not just the regular mundane, but that like we are engaging each other and not just getting through the chore.
Yeah, we'll drive to each other places on purpose. Even if it makes the travel time kind of weird, we do it anyway so that we can actually be with each other longer, so we can talk about things.
It changes, according to our different interests, so if she likes to work out, I might work out.
He might come down and work out.
We just do everything together.
Yeah.
I do his...
Listen, we stay busy. We forget.
In the morning, I do the drill, get him his medicine, and give him his insulin, and watch over his blood sugar numbers.
Yeah.
So we stay close that way, and his blood sugar is connected to my cell phone, so I get the alarms.
But she saved him alive.
We sat down and we talked about it when we were first married. How are we going to stay spiritually strong? So one thing that we decided to do is that we were always going to have prayer together, no matter what, and that we were always going to read scriptures every day, no matter what. Doesn't have to be a long time, might just be a verse, might be a few lines of a verse. But the fact is that we are putting forth that effort, and because of that, the Lord blesses our marriage.
Family prayers and scripture study is the simplest answer, but it really is the true answer, like the right answer.
It really is.
It's really difficult to, over the years, really stay consistent at that, because you have a baby and your situation changes and you have to really figure out where in your schedule this fits.
We've tried really hard to be consistent with family reading, family scriptures, and family prayer. Trying to do the family scriptures and prayer every day.
Since they were little.
And really that has, I think, made a difference for our marriage too, because it brings harmony among the family, which also affects the marriage.
We go to church every week. We were primary teachers for a while together.
And that was a really good time.
Yeah, and so like you're building each other spiritually that way as you're planning and preparing.
Interesting. We have always gone to church. We've always tried to do scripture reading. Not always the best at that, but they know we try. And that's important, that they know we try. And then the strength of youth for their lives, I feel like they know that that's very important to us. That that's what we do.
Well, one thing we told our children, so the temple always has meant so much to us. We really believe our commitment to the covenants, and we try to teach our children how important that is by attending the temple together all our married life. We've gone to the temple whenever we could, whether it's from El Paso to Mesa, which would be a long trip. But they would be excited about times when they could go to the temple. And we told them, no matter which temple you choose in all the world, when you get married, we'll be there. So we can't promise our grandchildren that, but we promised our children, you can choose any temple you want. Of course, how many temples were there in the early days? Maybe 12. And So just you choose your temple and we'll be there.
You can feel a spirit in your home. I remember even as a college student, we'd have non-members that would stop by and say, there's something different about your home. I like the feeling here. And it wasn't because we had any fancy decorations or anything, but it is a tangible feeling of peace and happiness and love. And I think if we can maintain that in our home, it just gives a great foundation. We'd be careful what kind of media we brought into the home. My major was in communications and media. And so what type of music we listen to, the movies that are allowed to come in, that all affects the spirituality in your home. What pictures do you hang on the wall? You know, what books do you read? And so we were very much filters. We filtered what came into our home because it's our home. It's the one we're establishing, and we have certain standards that we want met. And our kids expected it. In fact, they thought that was normal. It wasn't until they grew up and moved off, they're like, you mean everyone is a watch Susie?
And our language is important also. Like, we don't swear at home, and they know it.
Well, we're going to heaven together.
Yeah, we want to stick together all the way.